everyone. Welcome to our couch in Jerusalem, Israel. We wanted to open up this space because a lot of people have been asking us about our journey, how we did it, quitting our jobs, moving countries with kids, going through grad school with kids, and following our vision that we had for over 7 years and really sticking with it and coming here and how it's been going. And we hope to share some of our struggles and transformations and how we overcame certain issues in hopes that it'll inspire others. And we really want to be open and honest. And
I think one thing that both Jenna and I do within our own clinical practices is we ask others to be open. We ask them to talk about themselves and go deeper within, and best way that we can show others how to do that is by doing it ourselves.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I really think I've learned from Avi, who is a therapist, how to cultivate that therapeutic presence of just receptive listening, being open, being a container for another person's story. And over the years, being married to a therapist, I've started to learn that art, and it doesn't come naturally for all of us, and it's something to really be mindful of when you're speaking to someone, how to open up and kind of remove your ego to just receive. So one of the first questions I want to ask you, Avi, is, I know it was really scary for you to quit your job. You had a comfortable life, you had a job that you worked for your whole life, you wanted to be a therapist, and you had that stability. And what was that like for you to quit your job to start your own practice?
Extremely difficult. I really like being part of a team dynamic, and wherever I've worked, I really feel like I'm part of the team. Maybe it's because I grew up with a family of 9, so I always felt like connected to something. So whether I was working at Third Way Center in Denver or at the Jewish Family Service in St. Paul, I felt really connected to those people and to the mission. So leaving that for me, kind of leaving a team, was difficult and kind of against my nature. What I had to do was shift that perspective that I'm not leaving a team, I'm joining a new team. And really what I had to do was look at my wife and my children as this new team, the dynamic duo with the 2 rascals, or however we want to call it.
I've never been called a rascal before. So.
No, the kids. The
kids okay, good.
That's really what helped me to kind of overcome that fear of leaving a team. But really, the team that I always had, that was always with me, was you.
Thank you. So I actually have a follow-up question, because it's interesting you said it's against your nature to quit your job and your stability, and you did it anyways. And that's something I feel like so many people relate to, is that their nature is getting in the way of their higher vision and dreams. So what do you do to change your nature?
Well, I think what I had to do was decide which part of my nature was speaking, which part of me I was listening to. Was it the natural fear that I have, that you kind of just listen to, kind of living that fear life? Or was it something true within me that I don't want to leave a team dynamic? So I guess part of what I talked about a little bit earlier was about changing the perspective. And so I think by delving inside and trying to find another truth within me, which is that I really wanted to create my own practice. That was a dream I had throughout my undergrad and graduate school. I wanted to create something. So I guess what was really the driving force behind creating this and going against my nature was listening to a truer part of my nature, which is that confidence that comes from living out a dream that you want to live. So creating a reality out of something that was just a thought from 15 years ago is really just an incredible feeling.
I want to go a little bit deeper into what you said about finding your true, authentic voice, because voice is something I've been working with in a lot of different approaches, right? I'm a speech language pathologist, and we focus a lot on communication. And I also delve into meditation to find the inner voice that is your vital, truest self. And we often really get clouded by so many voices that are actually external. How do we find that deeper voice within? I want to open it up to you guys, whoever's watching, to just think about that for a few minutes. I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'll share some of my thoughts.
Yeah. So for me, being able to listen to that authentic self, to get there, for me, I need a mentor. Whether that's an older brother, a rabbi, a therapist, a coach, a yoga instructor, someone who can help to change the narrative that we know already inside of our head, the one that we've always been listening to, but we don't have to always follow that narrative. So having someone that can help us navigate that process has been incremental in my life and my journey.
I definitely think that having a coach helped me so much. When I was in a place of confusion, there's so many roles we have, so many directions in life we can go, and I found a coach that spoke to me in Jerusalem. I was in Boulder, but she understood my struggle, and we met once a week virtually, and she really helped listen to all the parts of myself and help me find my own truth. And so I really want that for everyone, to find a coach, to find a therapist that they really feel understands not just one fragment, but all parts of themselves and can help them uncover their own truth. I also think my meditation and yoga journey has brought me into more attunement with the inner wisdom of my body. And I think we have so much inherent wisdom that we can tap into when we kind of drop our awareness below the collarbones, because you said we have a narrative in our head, and we do. We're often so stuck in our mind and in our thoughts, and our mind can go into circles and loops, and yoga and meditation helps drop down to our feeling blissful body that has stores of wisdom and often knows exactly what it needs and the path to choose. So
yeah, that's so true, and evidence-based.
Yeah.
Which I think is super important, especially in our fields. But like you said about bringing it below the collarbone, that's similar to EMDR, right? This eye movement therapy. So a lot of people think it's up here, it's in the eyes, when really it's about the body. When Francine Shapiro, the creator of EMDR, when she kind of realized this, she wasn't doing eye therapy on herself, she was actually just going for a walk. And that bilateral stimulation while walking is really what brought the thoughts that she was having and the trauma down into her body, which then was able to help her to process them.
I never knew that. That's so interesting. So like the walking kind of balances your body out, and you can do that through eye gaze and therapy. Wow, I'm learning so much. It's so interesting. I do love a somatic approach personally, but I also know that some people prefer an auditory approach. Some people prefer a visual approach. And part of meeting one-on-one with a therapist is discovering how are you going to make progress and how are you going to heal on your journey. It really takes a lot of time to delve into the strengths and the struggles you have in yourself, and what can you unlock in yourself to find your vital self and your most authentic truth so that you can make the right decisions in life. And just going off of this, another question someone has asked us is, when you're making a huge life decision, like you guys took your kids out of the schools, you left all 4 grandparents and all of your family to come to Israel, how did you make that decision? How do you know a decision is right, especially when it's such a big one?
Yeah, so you don't. There's no shining light of this is what you need to do. It was more that we both knew about the destination of where we wanted to go, right? You're kind of just trying to get to where you want to go, but along the way there's going to be hurdles that you have to overcome. And I think for us, it took a lot of holding hands, crying together, and a lot more laughing together to get where we wanted to be. And here we are, and the journey continues.
And I also want to share just a technique that I learned from one of my teachers, which is when you have a decision that you're really back and forth from, should I, shouldn't I? You could see yourself in either direction, you don't really know. So you take the first decision and make the decision in your mind like you already made it. Like, yes, this is my decision. Close your eyes, enter your inner space of quietude, and notice the effects on your mind, your heart, your body. As if that decision was already made, notice the effects. And then go to the next decision. Make that decision completely in your mind, commit to it. Feel the effects on your mind, on your heart, on your body. Sit with it. It's going to take some practice and really sitting with these decisions for a few minutes. One decision will have a closed, more tense, more like narrow feeling in your body. One path will be a little bit more expansive, even if it's just subtle, you'll feel an openness, like a wide kind of space surrounding you. Your body already knows the right decision. So go into the wisdom of the body and you'll know which one is right.
Oh, that's so cool. So it's no surprise that Jenna was the driving force behind our returning to Israel. And I was there through all 7 years of this journey of Jenna never giving up on her goal, even when I sometimes would get comfortable wherever we were. So Jenna, I want to know, how did you continue with this goal and keep on living to get to your dream?
Well, first of all, thank you for putting up with me for 7 years until we made it here. But what I really believe is that when we find something in life that brings us alive, that spark, that you feel your soul just a little bit more than usual, that is so precious, and we need to protect it and cultivate it. And I really feel like Israel was a place where I felt the most at home. I could be my most authentic self, and it really motivated me to live my life authentically. We only have one short life, and if you find something that excites you, you have to go for it, because it's a subtle message from your soul that that's part of your purpose. And I love, one of my teachers talked about our soul really speaks to us in visions and dreams and subtle messages. And if we tune into those deeper messages that our Creator is constantly sending us, we know where we have to be in life. And there's going to be hurdles to get there. It wasn't easy. But if you hold on to your vision, then the earth or the universe supports you. If you put an intention out in the world that you really want something or you really want to get somewhere, I really believe all the forces help you arrive there. And part of it is speaking your truth. Everywhere I went, I told people, yes, I'm living in Boulder, but we're moving to Israel. Yes, I'm living in New York, but we're moving to Israel. I always spoke my dream, and that way I had a lot of witnesses on the journey to help remind me of my goal. And when you speak your words of intention, it actually brings it more into the physical realm, right? We have so many thoughts that stays in the world of intention, and it can get lost in the billions of thoughts that we have. When we speak it into being, or journal it, or write it, or even do actions for it, it creates your reality and you create your life. So I'm thankful that I had a husband who supported me, because it takes a team. And I really appreciate you not only coming along with me, but also aligning your dream with mine so that we could get here together.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Also, shout out to our kids.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've been troopers.
They've been we're crazy, but they've been along for the ride, and they've been really enjoying it. So
Yeah.
that's been awesome. So Ilan and Yehuda, when you guys are older and you're watching this,
Yeah, we're really thankful for you. Well, thank you all for joining our couch session. Let us know if you have any comments or feedback or questions. We'd love to keep doing this if you guys are interested.
yeah, if you guys aren't interested in this, please let us know, because we don't want to put you through it again if it's not worth it for you. Thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. We're just going to finish our tea. If you guys want to keep on watching, feel free.